So now we see the third step in the dynamic programming paradigm, that is computing the optimal cost. So what were the first two steps? The first step was characterize the optimal structure, then define value of an optimal solution recursively, then third step is computing the optimal cost. So we had defined the value of an optimal solution recursively. Now we are going to perform the third step, and we are going to compute the optimal cost by using a tabular bottom-up approach. Okay, the following pseudocode assumes that, so we have a pseudocode coming, and that actually that assumes that matrix AA has dimensions pi minus 1 by pi for I is equal to 1 to n. Then the input is actually and our assumption is that matrix AA has dimension pi minus 1 by pi. Okay, that is for simplicity. Then input sequence p is equal to p0, p1, etc., pn, and then where length of p is equal to n plus 1. This is actually the input sequence, not your matrices. Okay, these are its dimensions. Then the procedure, and we know that this procedure actually makes use of two tables, auxiliary tables, m and s. M will actually give you the lowest cost. Okay, that is m of 1 to n comma 1 to n, that is for storing m of I comma j costs, and an auxiliary table S is there, that is 1 to n, that records which index of k achieved the optimal cost in computing m of I comma j. Okay, which index of k achieved the optimal cost in computing m of I comma j. Then we will use the table S to construct an optimal solution. So we have table m of I comma j that actually will record the minimum cost for computing matrices ai to aj, and m of 1 to n comma 1 to n will actually give you the lowest cost for computing m of a1 to an. And you have one more table, that is S, that will actually give you the index k. Okay, that k is actually the split between the sequence. We have a1 to an, so k will give you where to split, and we will use the, so our aim is to get an order for this sequence, multiplication order. So S is the most important value. So S is used to construct the optimal solution. So now in order to correctly implement the bottom-up approach, we must determine which entries of the table are used in computing m of I comma j. So we must determine which entries of the table are used in computing m of I comma j, because we know that m of I comma j is equal to 0 if I is equal to j, and that is equal to minimum among all values of k ranges from I to j minus 1, m of I comma k plus m of k plus 1 comma j plus p minus I into pk into pj, and we'll go for all values of k and we'll choose the minimum one. So that's what we know, that m of I comma j will actually depend on j minus I plus 1 matrices. Okay, because the cost of computing m of I comma j is actually computing a matrix n product of j minus I plus 1 matrices. Okay, and that actually depends on cost of computing matrix n products of fewer than j minus I plus 1 matrices, because when we consider k is equal to I plus 1 to j minus 1, the matrix ai to k is a product of k minus I plus 1. Okay, I to k is actually a product of k minus I plus 1, and that is actually less than j minus I plus 1. Okay, and matrices, and the matrix ak plus 1 to j is actually a product of j minus k, which is less than j minus I plus 1 matrices. That's what we are saying. K minus I plus 1 is actually less than j minus I plus 1, because k is again less than j, k is j minus 1. So this value is surely less than j minus I plus 1, and the matrix, this one a k plus 1 to j, that is actually j minus k, and that is less than j minus I plus 1 matrices. Thus the algorithm should fill in a table M in a manner that corresponds to solving the parenthesization problem on matrix chains of increasing length. Okay, and we are choosing increasing length of chains. Thereby we ensure that this is a bottom up approach, because we'll compute cos of chains of lower lengths, then we'll increase the length and we'll compute this one, and that's why it is a bottom up approach. Then matrix chain order P. So P is your sequence, that is the input. So n is equal to length of P minus 1. So we know that P is equal to P0, P1 to Pn. So length of P is equal to n plus 1. So we are assigning n as length of P minus 1. So for I is equal to 1 to n, so we get n now, and for I is equal to 1 to n, what we do is that we know that m of I comma j, that optimal cost, that is equal to 0 if I is equal to j. So that's why we are setting all diagonal elements as 0. So m of I comma I is equal to 0. Now for L is equal to 2 to n. So we are considering L and we are setting it as 2 to n, where L is the length of the chain. So we are starting from a chain of length 2, and we'll check for all possibilities, and we'll continue this until the length of the chain becomes n. Okay, that's what it does. So L is equal to 2 to n. Do for I is equal to 1 to n minus L plus 1. So we know that I is actually, what is I? I is m of I comma j, that is the I. So starting of the sequence, okay, that is I, that will start from 1, okay, because our matrix is A1 to An. So we should start from 1, and we are choosing lengths of 2. Initially we are choosing lengths of 2, there I will range from 1 to n minus L plus 1, okay, because I will go from 1, then 2, then 3, etc., n minus L plus 1, so that the last sequence will also contain 2 elements or L length. Okay, the last chain will also contain L or length L, that is ensured by putting I as 1 to n minus L plus 1, and j is a constant here with respect to I and L. J is equal to I plus L minus 1, because j is m of I comma j. J is the last index. Okay, so we can choose it as where length L is given and its starting index is 1. So this j can be only I plus L minus 1. That is a fixed number depending on for 1 I and 1 L. Then we are setting m of I comma j as infinity. For comparison purpose, we are setting it as infinity. Then for k is equal to I to j minus 1, and we are choosing a split. Okay, k is equal to 1 I to j minus 1. Do q is m of I comma k plus m of k plus 1 comma j plus pi minus 1 pk pj. Okay, so we are calculating this value and we are storing it in variable q, and we are checking if q is less than m of I comma j. Initially this will be true for all values. So q is less than m of I comma j. Then what will happen? We are assigning q as m of I comma j. Then that k will be returned to s of I comma j. So again we will choose the second value, that k, that is I plus 1. Then we will calculate this. We are checking with the old value and assigning. And after one iteration, we will find out the minimum cost here and index k, the split k, which leads to the minimum cost. And next step, I will go to 2. Okay, and j will be, with respect to this L, j will be constant. So I will, that means the sequence starting from 2 2 to n minus L plus 1. Okay, so 2 to what will happen? 2 plus L minus 1. Okay, so like that, then again it will take m of I comma j infinity, the second sequence. So this will continue, and when I reaches n minus L plus 1, this will come to the outermost loop, that is L is equal to 3. Now it will choose all chains of length 3, and then it will choose all chains of length 4, etc. up to n. So L will reach n there. So in each step it sets I as it will start. So when it chooses a chain of length 3, again it will take from 1 to 3. Okay, when L equal to 2, chains of length 2, that is 1 to 2, then 2 to 3, then 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, etc. That is the chain. Then sequence. L is equal to 3, it will again start from 1. So 1 to 3, then 2 to 4, then 3 to 5, etc. Then L is equal to 4. So again it starts from 1 to 4. Okay, so like that it will continue. So it will calculate, and finally all these values will be stored in the matrix M and S, and finally it will return M and S. Okay, M will give you the minimum cost and S will give you the indices which leads to the minimum cost. So what is the time complexity of this algorithm? So we know that there are L loop variables, L is there, then I is there, J is a constant with respect to 1 L and I. Okay, so J is a constant, then K is again a loop variable. So 3 values are there, and we can say that because of that, what is the maximum value for L? L will go from 2 to n, which means n minus 2 plus 1. That is, n minus 1 values will be there, or this outermost loop will be executed for n minus 1 time, and this will go maximum n minus 1, will also go maximum n minus 1 times. Okay, so altogether you can say that this time is big of n cube, and the algorithm actually requires theta of n square space to store the M and S tables, because M table contains, or M table is actually M of 1 to n comma 1 to n. So that is altogether there will be n square entries, and S table will also contain S of 1 to n 1 to n, which means it will also contain n square entries. So the space required to store this M and S will be theta of n square. And thus this matrix chain order is, we can say that its time complexity is big of n cube. So it's it is much more efficient than the exponential time method of enumerating all possible parenthesization. So an alternative for this matrix chain order algorithm is that we can list out all possible parenthesizations, and we can compute their cost, and we can choose the minimum one. Okay, that is actually tedious, and that will end up in an exponential time, and this matrix chain order is actually much more efficient because it will only big of n cube time. Okay, then one example. So here matrix A1 30 by 35, A2 35 by 15, A3 15 by 5, A4 5 by 10, etc. So A1 to A6 matrices are there, and actually our input sequence is P0, P1 to Pn. Remember, our input sequence is P equal to P0, P1, etc. Pn, that is known as P. So here our P0 equal to 30. Okay, this is your P0, and P1 is equal to 35, this 35 and this 35. Okay, so P1 is 35, then P2 is 15, P3 equal to 5, P10 is, P4 is equal to 10, then P5 is equal to 20, and P6 equal to 25. And n is equal to length of P minus 1. What is length of P? It is P0 to P6. So 7 minus 1, n is equal to 6. Or we can say that n is actually number of matrices, but our input is just P0 to P6. So algorithmically you can write it like this, length of P minus 1. We are actually not multiplying the matrices, okay. We are actually trying to find out an order. So we will get only dimensions of these matrices. We are not getting the contents. And we are actually trying to compute the number of scalar multiplications in each step. And so n is equal to 6. So one example here is, this is computed table M and this one is table S. M is actually optimal cost and S is index, okay. And here the lower or bottom portion of this matrix is not considered, okay, because we are considering a sequence 1 to n. Always we are taking from 1 to n or 2 to n, 3 to n, 4 to n, etc. So we are not counting backwards, that is to n to 2, okay, n to 4, that case we are not considering. So we are not interested in the bottom portion of this matrix, and we are actually putting it like this for better understandability. So I is this angle and this is j. So I 1 1, and we know that all these diagonal elements are 0. So 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 3, 4 4, 5 5, 6 6, all these are zeros, and we can calculate 1 to 2, then 1 to 3, 1 to 4. So if we are calculating 1 to 2, how do you calculate 1 to 2? So when you take 1 to 2, we know that which means m of 1 comma 2. So there you can take k, you should choose here I not equal to j, so it is not 0. And when k is equal, what value k can take? K is equal to I to j minus n, any value among I to j minus 1, but I is equal to 1, j is equal to 2. So k can only take 1. So we are considering k as 1. So what is the value? Only one value is there, that will be the minimum. So m of 1 comma 1 plus m of 2 comma 2, then plus p 0 into p, k is 1, p 1 into p 2. So that value is taken, and that is 15,750, okay. 1, so m of 1 comma 1, that is 0. The value is m of 1 comma 2 is equal to m of 1 comma 1, because k is 1, plus m of 2 comma 2, because k plus 1 comma j, k is 1, so k plus 1 is 2. So m of 2 comma 2, m of 1 comma 1 is 0, 2 comma 2 is also 0, and the second value is p I minus 1, that is I is 1, so p 0, then p k, k is 1, so p 1 into what is that, p j, that is p 2. So p 0, p 1, p 2. So p 0, that is 30, 35 into 15, and that value is 15,750. Like that you can calculate. Another case is m of 2 comma 5, for example. Another case is m of 2 comma 5. There you can have multiple values for k. K can range from I to j minus 1. So I is 2, k can be 2, or k can be 3, k can be 4. 4 is j minus 1. So k will have 3 values, and we should compute all this cost, and we should choose the minimum value. So minimum of m of, if k is equal to 2, that is m of 2 comma 2 plus m of 3 comma 5, that is k plus 1 comma j, that is m of 3 comma 5 plus I minus 1, p I minus 1, that is p 1, then p k, that is p 2, then p j, that is p 5. So this cost 2 comma 2 is 0, then m of 3 comma 5 is 2500, then this p 1, p 2, p 3, that is 35 into 15 into 20, that is 13,000. Then m, when k is equal to 3, it is m of 2 comma 3. So 2 comma 3 plus m of 4 comma 5 plus p1 p3 p5, because p1 is pi minus 1, I is 2, then p3 k is equal to 3 p3, then j is 5. So p1 p3 p5, that is 2625 plus 1000 plus this value, that is 7125. When you calculate this one, it is 11375. So the minimum value is 7125. That value is stored here, 2 comma 5, 7125. So which value gave you, which value of k gave you the minimum cost? That is k is 3. So 2 comma 5 in the S table you are storing value 3. Okay, like that you should compute all these values on your own. Okay, and this you can submit the note only after the examination. Okay, I am not going to disturb you during the exam. So this value 2 comma 5 is stored here. If you continue in this manner, you can fill all the entries in the table. Okay. Now the last step is constructing an optimal solution. So what we have constructed so far is that the minimum cost and the split which gave you the minimum cost. All these values are there. Actually, what is our optimal solution? Optimal solution is a minimum cost order for this multiplication. Okay. So finally, we need to construct an optimal solution. We have the minimum cost with us and we have the values which gave you the minimum cost. So using this information, or especially the information in the S table, we can find out the optimal solution. So we have constructed this one in a bottom up fashion. Okay, and we are storing the values and reusing the values. Okay, that is the basic concept in dynamic programming. We are not recomputing the values, we are just reusing the values. Okay, and we have computed everything and we are using this table S to compute the optimal solution or to construct the optimal solution. Although matrix chain order determines the optimal number of scalar multiplications needed to compute a matrix chain product, it does not directly show how to multiply the matrices. It is not difficult to construct an optimal solution from the computed information stored in the table S of 1 to n, comma 1 to n. Each entry, so what is given in each entry? Each entry S of I comma j actually records the value of k such that the optimal parenthesization of AA plus 1 to AJ splits the product between AK and AK plus 1. Okay, so S of I comma j will give a value of k, and that value actually tells you that you should split your sequences AA to AJ. So you should split that between AK and AK plus 1. Okay, so thus we know that the final matrix multiplication computing A1 to n optimally is A1 to S of 1 comma n, then AS of 1 comma n plus 1 comma n. What does that mean? So our final sequence is A1 to AN. So the split value will be given by S of 1 comma n. That's why it is A1 to S of 1 comma n. That will give you where to split. And the second sequence is actually AS of 1 comma n plus n. Sorry, 1 comma n plus 1 etc. n. Okay. So this is the second sequence. First sequence is this one, A1 to S of 1 comma n. This is actually one value that is stored in this entry, and plus 1, that is the second sequence up to n. Then the earlier matrix multiplications can be computed recursively, since S of 1 comma S of 1 comma n determines the last matrix multiplication computing A1 to S of 1 comma n. So what happens? A1 to S of 1 comma n, you will get this one. Okay, you will get one value, and then you can use S of 1 comma n plus 1 comma n, for that determines AS of 1 comma n plus 1 etc. n. Clear? So you have one value here, then you will use S of 1 comma n, then your step is S of 1 comma n plus 1, the second step. Okay, you will split here and then the next value s of 1 comma n plus 1 comma n. That is for computing as of 1 comma n plus 1 to n. Then we have a recursive procedure for printing this optimal parenthesization of ai plus 1 to aj, and given the S table computed by matrix n order and the indices I and j. So, input is S and I and j, indices I and j, and the initial call print optimal parents, that is the procedure name, that will the initial call is with input S comma 1 comma n, where S is your table, 1 is the initial index and n is the last index. Prints an optimal parenthesization of a1 to an. So, let us look at this. Print optimal parents s comma I comma j. If I is equal to j, then print a I. A will be printed and I is also printed. Then else it will print a left parenthesis. Then print optimal parents s comma I comma s of I comma j. Okay, the split is given in this entry. And print optimal parents s comma s of I comma j plus 1 comma j. So, for one call there are two recursions, then it will print a right parenthesis. So, the initial call will be s, for our example s comma print optimal parents s comma 1 comma 6. So, s comma I is 1, j is 6, I is not equal to j, so it will print a left parenthesis, that is printed here. Then print optimal parents s comma I comma s of I comma j. So, s again I is 1 again, s of I comma j is s of 1 comma 6. What is s of 1 comma 6? That is 3. Okay, s of 1 comma 6 is 3. So, it will go from s comma 1 comma 3. So, s comma 1 comma 3, again I is not equal to 3 j. So, it will print left parenthesis. Then print optimal parents. So, s comma 1 comma, then again s of 1 comma 3, s of 1 comma 3. What is s of 1 comma 3? That is 1. So, it will print s of 1 comma 1. Okay, sorry, print optimal parents s comma 1 comma 1. So, it will come here. So, there it means that I is equal to j, because 1 and I is 1, j is 1. So, I is equal to j, it will print a I. What is value of I? 1. So, it will print a 1. Okay. So, you continue like this, you will get this output. Okay. Do this by your own and you can prepare. So, you should complete this table, table M, table S for the same input and finish computing these two, and again print this value using this. You try out all the recursions. Okay, write down all the recursions with their s I and s of I comma j and get this output and submit it to me.